control the growth of cells stops working. So normally, your cells will die and then new ones will start to grow in its place, but when you have cancer, the old cells don't die off, they continue to keep growing. And they can cause a mass called tumors. So there's two different kinds of tumors. There are malignant tumors and benign tumors. So basically, malignant tumors, they can spread throughout the body and cause the spread of cancer, whereas benign tumors, they don't spread or invade other tissues. They sort of stay in the same area. Even though benign tumors, they don't usually have concerns, they can grow pretty large in some instances. There are over 200 types of cancers, the most common ones being lung cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, and other forms of leukemia. There are 7 major warning signs of cancer. They're pretty common ailments that you and I may experience, but they can be a sign of cancer. So the first one is an acronym, it's called CAUTION. So the letter C, it represents change in bowel or bladder habits. A sore that does not heal, so you might have some sort of sore in your body that's not really improving and staying the same. Any unusual bleeding or discharge. T, a thickening or a lump in the breast or elsewhere. I, for indigestion or difficulty swallowing. O, an obvious change in a wart or mole. And N, nagging cough or hoarseness. So I work in a pharmacy, so a lot of times people will come to the pharmacy, they might ask, oh, I have heartburn. I ask them, the first thing I always ask them if they have heartburn, if they have trouble swallowing, because that's a major warning sign that's like a red flag. If they have trouble swallowing, you see a doctor right away. If they have a nagging cough, I usually don't like to recommend it unless it's something that has been going on for a long time, but if it's been lasting for a week or 2 weeks, I say you should see a doctor, because you never know, that cough can be a sign of some sort of cancer. So there are various stages of cancer. So there's stage 0 to 4. The lower the stage, the less the cancer is spread and the more you're likely to be able to survive. And if you have stage 4 cancer, that's the most dangerous cancer. That's the cancer that's called end-stage cancer. So that's why it's so important to see a doctor right away if you have any sort of signs or warning signs, because the earlier they catch the cancer, that's the best chance for treating that cancer. There are various ways to prevent cancer. So a lot of times cancer is just some bad luck, but sometimes we can control our risk factors. So if we eat healthy, a lot of people nowadays, children especially, we don't eat healthy as much as we used to, and that's shown in a rise in childhood cancer. So if children eat much more healthily, you're going to reduce your risk of cancer. Always wash your hands, get enough rest, stay hydrated, exercise. There's a big thing in our church, do not smoke, avoid alcohol. In our church, it's the rules and tenets. The secretary always reads it every week. Don't consume alcohol, don't smoke. Protect your skin. Always be in contact with your primary care provider because there's a lot of screening tools such as colonoscopies, prostate exams, mammograms, things like that we're going to discuss in the next month that can really help prevent or catch cancer very early. And always regularly visit your doctor to get important vaccines, because there are some vaccines, such as the HPV vaccine, that can prevent certain cancers. Any questions?
Yeah, I have one. No, I think I'm audible enough. Thank you. Thanks for your service to this church. I really appreciate you. And most importantly, the topic we're discussing is a topic that we should take very, very serious. And last week, I know you talked about 2 types of cancer, Malaria and the other one. And I don't know, maybe within some time, are you going to discuss some of the things that we can avoid in this modern world that can spread cancer, like cerebral paper, microwave, and other, and cell phone, the adverse effects on our body. And in future, maybe you're going to talk, most importantly, some cancers that has to do with female that they don't know. Some of them they thought maybe the only cancer that they can have is breast cancer. They don't know about anus cancer, skin cancer, all those things. I would really appreciate it if we can target the kind of cancer that we can face in this modern world. Back in Africa, we think it's only breast cancer that can kill women. But now we have a lot of cancers these days. Maybe you can expatiate on all those things in future. Talk about the cancer that can spread among women and that of men and ages. There are some these days they don't have to deal with age. They come very early. So, and what we can do, the kind of test that we can go for that can give us early detection, like you said. When it goes to stage 4, there's nothing we can do. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. So I believe next month we're going to touch on some of those things you had mentioned. I know that, I can say right now that there's another cancer that's common in women that's called cervical cancer, but if you get the HPV vaccine, it's shown to prevent that kind of cancer. We'll definitely talk about a lot of the screenings next month. And then I think we should definitely have an opportunity, we can definitely look into those other things like microwaves, other sort of exposures that we have every single day, cell phones. At some point we try to look into see, what kind of risk factors those prevent as well. Any other questions?
All our friends, check in the front. We're doing our offering. All of us